My name is Avery Collins, and for the longest time, I thought my husband's business partner, Luke Porter, was the closest thing we had to family. He and my husband, Daniel, built their remodeling company from scratch. They spent late nights in our garage turning dreams into blueprints. They took risks together, fought together, celebrated together, and I trusted Luke because Daniel trusted him. That trust almost cost us everything. If it weren't for Rex, my 90-pound German shepherd with an uncanny instinct for danger, our entire world would have burned down around us without warning. Literally. It started on a rainy Tuesday afternoon. Daniel was stuck in traffic coming home from a supplier meeting. I was prepping dinner while Rex lay at my feet, watching the chicken roast like it owed him money. Around 6:15, someone knocked on the door. 3 slow knocks. Rex's head snapped up. He didn't bark, not at first. He stood, rigid, tail stiff, ears pointed sharply forward. I wiped my hands and checked the camera. Luke, standing on our porch, drenched in rain, expression tight. I unlocked the door, but Rex shoved himself between me and the door so hard I stumbled back. "Rex, what's gotten into you?" I muttered. Luke gave a nervous smile when he saw the dog. "Hey, buddy, maybe let me in? Storm's getting bad." Rex didn't move. He growled, low, vibrating, the kind of growl he only used when something was truly wrong. I forced a laugh. "Sorry, he's a little tense today. Come in." When I reached for the door handle, Rex barked, a loud, explosive bark that made Luke jump back and me nearly drop my phone. "Whoa," Luke said, raising his hands. "Avery, call him off." I grabbed Rex's collar. "Rex, stop it. He's fine." But Rex wasn't fine. He was panicking. He kept swinging his head back toward the kitchen, toward the stove, then back at Luke. Growl, bark, whine, growl again. He kept switching back and forth, frantic. "What is he doing?" Luke muttered. I don't know," I said. "He's never acted like this around you." Luke stepped closer. Rex lunged. Luckily, I held onto his collar, or he would have gone straight for Luke's arm. Luke stumbled back, pale. "Avery, he's lost it." "No," I whispered, my throat tightening. "He's warning me." I turned toward the kitchen. A faint burning smell drifted into the hallway. My heart dropped. The oven. Not roasting chicken. Smoke. I ran to the kitchen, flung the oven door open. Flames jumped out. Small, but enough to catch the grease tray. "Oh my God!" I grabbed the extinguisher under the sink, shaking, sprayed it across the burner until the flames hissed out. My whole body shook. How didn't I smell this sooner? How close were we to losing the house? Rex rushed in and nudged my elbow anxiously, whining. "I'm okay, boy," I whispered. But Rex wasn't looking at me now. He was looking at Luke, growling. Luke stood, frozen at the hallway entrance, eyes wide, rain dripping from his jacket, expression unreadable, not shocked, not scared, just studying the fire, almost like he expected it. A chill spread across my spine. "Luke, why did you come?" I asked carefully. He took a slow step back. Rainwater pooled at his feet. I needed to talk to Daniel about paperwork. At 6:15, in a storm. He didn't answer. Rex growled again. Luke flinched. That's when I saw it, something shiny sticking out of his jacket pocket. Not keys, not a phone, a metal container with a red cap. My breath caught. "Luke," I whispered, "what's in your pocket?" He didn't answer. Rex barked violently, shaking the entire kitchen. Luke raised both hands, stepping back toward the front door. "Avery, listen, this isn't what it looks like." "What is it then?" I snapped. He stared at me for a long moment, then whispered, "I never meant for it to be you." A knot formed in my stomach. "Me what, Luke?" He didn't answer. He turned, fast, and ran out the door, into the pouring rain. Rex tore after him, dragging me halfway before I got hold of his harness. Rain slammed against the pavement. Luke sprinted across the driveway toward his truck. He dropped something as he ran, a metal canister, the same one from his pocket. It rolled to my feet. The label stared up at me through the rain. Accelerant, highly flammable. My heart stopped. The burning oven, the unexpected visit, Rex's panic, Luke's reaction. This wasn't an accident. Luke came to start a fire, inside my home, while I was inside it. I staggered backward, gripping the railing. Oh my God, Rex saved my life. My phone buzzed. Daniel. I answered with shaking hands. Luke was at the house earlier, he said. Did he drop anything off? I swallowed hard. He dropped off a fire. Daniel went silent, then whispered, Avery, lock the house, now. Luke's not who you think he is. Rex nudged my leg urgently, growling at the dark road where Luke disappeared. And suddenly I knew this wasn't about a fire. This was about something much bigger, something Rex sensed before any of us, something Daniel had been hiding, something that was about to tear our life apart. I slammed the door shut the moment Luke disappeared into the storm. Rex stood planted in front of it, chest heaving, ears forward, growl rumbling like thunder trapped inside his ribs. He wasn't just alert. He was furious. My phone shook in my hand. Daniel, I whispered. What do you mean Luke isn't who I think he is? Daniel's voice was tense, sharper than I'd ever heard him. Avery, listen to me. You need to lock every door, every window. Do it now. I did, but Daniel, Luke tried. He tried to. I know what he tried, Daniel said, voice cracking. Avery, he's dangerous, and I should have told you sooner. My heart hammered. Then tell me now. A beat of silence. Then Daniel exhaled. It wasn't a simple business disagreement. Luke didn't just want out of the company. He wanted me out of the picture completely. A cold chill crawled down my neck. What are you talking about? Avery, he's been stealing from the business for over a year. Contracts, money, equipment, everything. And when I confronted him, he threatened me. I swallowed hard. Threatened you how? He told me the company was his, that he wasn't going to let me stand in the way, that he'd burn everything down before letting me expose him. My breath shook. Burn everything? Daniel's breath caught. Yeah, I didn't think he meant it literally. Rex barked at the window, sharp, aggressive, like he sensed something outside. I flinched. Daniel, he had an accelerant in his pocket. He dropped it while running, and the oven caught fire. Oh God, Daniel whispered. He wasn't here to talk. He was here to make it look like an accident. Lightning flashed outside. Thunder cracked. Rex roared back with a deep growl toward the living room window. I peeked through the curtain. Nothing but rain. But Rex didn't believe that. His body stiffened, his nose twitching, tracking something I couldn't see. Daniel, I whispered. Rex thinks someone's still out there. Daniel cursed under his breath. Avery, listen carefully. Luke isn't working alone. He owes money to people. Bad people. If they think you knew anything... A sudden loud clang hit the side of the house. Rex took off instantly, barking with such force the air vibrated. What was that? I cried. Daniel's voice rose. Avery, get to Rex. Don't let him go outside. I'm calling the sheriff. But before he could finish, the front doorknob jiggled. Once, twice, slow, deliberate. My entire body iced over. Rex charged the door and snarled, deeper than I had ever heard in his life. Daniel, I whispered, shaking violently. Someone's trying to get in. Do not open the door. I'm 10 minutes away. The sheriff is 5. The front doorknob twisted again, harder. Rex snapped his jaws at the wood, snarling so violently the person outside froze. Silence, then footsteps, running. Away. Rex barked at the retreating sound until it faded completely. I dropped to my knees, burying my face in Rex's fur. You saved us again, I whispered, voice breaking. But Rex didn't relax. He pulled away from me, quick, sharp, alert. Nose pressed to the floor where rainwater had seeped under the door. He sniffed, growled, turned, and sprinted toward the back of the house. No, Rex, wait. I chased him down the hallway. He barreled into the laundry room and skidded to a stop in front of the back door. He growled again. Something moved behind the frosted glass. A shadow. A person. My lungs collapsed. Rex barked so loud the glass vibrated. The figure froze, then slipped out of view. My phone buzzed again. Daniel. Avery, deputies are 2 minutes out. Are you okay? No, I whispered. Someone went to the back door. Daniel inhaled sharply. That wasn't Luke. My heart nearly stopped. What do you mean? Daniel's voice lowered to a terrified whisper. Because Luke just called me. The world shifted under my feet. What? Why? He said he didn't come back. He said he screwed up, that he panicked, that he didn't know what to do. A beat. And Avery? He sounded scared. I swallowed hard. If Luke isn't behind the house, then who was? As if answering me, Rex barked again, fur standing up, body stiff, teeth bared toward the dark backyard. Daniel spoke quietly. Avery, whoever is out there, they're not here for Luke. A cold realization washed over me. They're here for us. No, Daniel whispered. They're here for you. Rex pressed his shoulder against my leg, ready to fight. Lightning flashed, and in that second of white-hot light, I saw a silhouette standing beside the fence, tall, still, watching. The shadow stepped back into darkness. Rex roared. The sheriff's sirens grew louder in the distance, but not fast enough, not nearly fast enough. Rex nudged my thigh sharply, pushing me backward, away from the door, away from the danger. And I realized Rex wasn't just trying to protect me this time. He was preparing to make sure the threat didn't reach me, even if he had to face it first. Sirens wailed in the distance, but far, far too distant. Rex stood rigid in front of the back door, fur raised, teeth bared, growl rolling like thunder trapped in his throat. The silhouette I saw a moment earlier had vanished into the storm, but Rex knew it hadn't gone far. He kept inching toward the door, body tense, breath harsh. "Avery," Daniel said urgently through the phone, "listen to me. Don't open any doors. Don't move. Stay with Rex." "Daniel," I whispered shakily. Someone was right outside. He watched me. He was watching me. "I know," Daniel said, voice trembling. "Avery, Luke told me something before I hung up." My stomach tightened. "What?" "He said he wasn't alone in the company theft." A pause. "He said someone bigger was behind him, someone dangerous enough that he'd do anything to stay on their good side." Rex growled louder at the door. "Daniel, who?" "Avery, he wouldn't tell me a name, but he said this person." Daniel swallowed. "Knows where we live, knows you're home alone, and doesn't like loose ends." "Loose ends?" I whispered. "Avery, you're the loose end." Lightning flashed again, and that's when I saw it. A dark smear on the outside glass, a handprint, faint, wet, fresh. Someone had touched the door. Recently. Rex slammed his weight against my legs, pushing me back from the door, his entire body acting like a living shield. "Rex, baby, what are you sensing?" I whispered. He glanced up at me, eyes wide, pupils blown, the same look he had when he stopped Tyler from taking Noah. Keach ban, wanchers hen. A look of pure instinct, a look that meant, "Do not go near that door." I backed away, but Rex didn't. He backed into the living room, positioning himself between the hallway and the back of the house, guarding me, blocking any angle of entry. His ears suddenly snapped toward the side of the house. Not the back door, the side window. The one just above the basement steps. He sprinted there, barking like the world was ending. I followed, fear clawing my ribs. The blinds shook from the vibrations of his bark. I lifted one slat just enough to peek, and my breath caught footprints in the mud, leading around the house, stopping directly below the side window. He had circled the entire property, watching every entry point, hunting. I stumbled back. "Daniel, call the sheriff again. Tell them he's still here." "They're pulling in now," he said. "Avery, hide somewhere. Hide with Rex." But Rex wasn't planning to hide. He took off toward the basement door, hard, urgent. "No, Rex!" But he reached it first, and started scratching violently at the crack under the door, barking so savagely I felt the vibrations through the floorboards. Something was down there, not outside, not in the yard, inside the basement. I felt the air get sucked from my lungs. "Daniel," I croaked. "Someone got in." Rex barked louder. The sheriff's cars screeched into the driveway, red and blue lights flashing through the windows. Footsteps thundered across the porch. "Sheriff's department, open up!" I ran to the front door, unlocked it with trembling hands. Deputies stormed in. "He's in the basement," I cried. "Rex tracked him. He's in the basement." Rex bolted back to the basement door, scratching and snarling like he'd tear the house apart to get inside. The deputies drew their weapons. "Ma'am, stand back." One deputy put his ear to the door, the faint sound of footsteps. moving slowly across the concrete below. He nodded at the other officer. They flung the basement door open. Rex sprinted down first, deputies right behind him. "Police! Come out with your hands where we can see them!" Silence. Rex sniffed aggressively, circling the dark basement. Then he froze. He locked onto the far corner. A stack of boxes sat there. Paint cans, old appliances, Christmas decor. Rex lifted his head and barked. A long, sharp warning bark. The deputy aimed his flashlight at the boxes. "Behind there!" he shouted. They moved fast, weapons raised. One deputy grabbed the top box. Rex lunged, and a man leapt from behind the stack, sprinting toward the basement door, toward me. I screamed. But before he cleared 2 steps, Rex cut him off mid-run, slamming his full weight into the man's legs with bone-crushing force. The man hit the concrete floor face first. Deputies swarmed him, wrestling him into cuffs. He screamed, "Get off me! Get off!" Rex snarled, teeth bared inches from the man's neck. "Easy! Easy!" a deputy shouted, pulling Rex back. But Rex didn't stop growling, because his nose recognized something the moment the man hit the floor. A smell he'd reacted to the second Luke walked in. Gasoline, accelerant. The man wore the same chemical scent. Not Luke. The man who supplied the accelerant. The man Luke owed. The man who wanted the company, and Daniel, gone. The man who tried to finish the job tonight. Deputies dragged him upstairs. He glared at me, eyes filled with venom. "You think this is over?" he hissed. "Daniel should have never crossed me, and you—" Rex lunged, teeth snapping inches from his face, forcing the man backward. "You ever come near her again," one deputy warned, "and the dog won't be the one we release first." They shoved him into the patrol car. Rex stayed pressed to my leg, shaking, furious, protective. The sheriff approached me. "Avery, if that dog hadn't alerted you when he did," he shook his head, "you wouldn't be standing here." I knelt beside Rex, burying my face in his fur. "You saved my life again," I whispered. "How do you always know?" Rex licked my cheek gently, because he always knew danger before anyone else. And tonight wasn't over, not by a long shot, because Daniel wasn't home yet, because Luke wasn't in cuffs, and because the arrested man was just the messenger. The real danger? The sheriff turned to me, voice grim. "Avery, this isn't finished. Whoever planned this wasn't working alone." Rex stiffened, growled again. Toward the driveway, toward the road, toward the darkness beyond the flashing lights. And my blood ran cold, because he was warning me. Someone else was coming. The storm didn't calm. If anything, it grew louder. Wind smashing branches against the siding, rain beating the windows hard enough to blur the red-blue police lights outside. Rex stood in the doorway, chest heaving, muscles tight, ears pinned forward. He wasn't barking anymore. This was much worse. He was listening. "Ma'am," the sheriff said quietly beside me, "your dog's telling you something. What direction is he tracking?" I swallowed. "He keeps staring at the road." The sheriff nodded grimly. "That means whoever's left, they're not inside. They're watching." One deputy jogged over. "Sheriff, the guy we arrested downstairs, he's not talking, but his phone blew up with messages from someone named Crow." My blood ran cold, because Daniel mentioned that name earlier, someone Luke owed money to, someone nobody wanted to cross. The sheriff looked at me. "Avery, this isn't one petty crime. This is organized. Whoever Crow is, he's the one calling the shots." Lightning cracked across the sky, and through the glare, a car rolled slowly down the road. Black, tinted windows, no headlights. Rex snarled, a deep guttural rumble that shook through my bones. The sheriff's hand dropped to his holster. "Everyone inside, now." Deputies moved fast, securing the entry points. But I couldn't move, because as the car stopped at the end of our driveway, the driver's window slid down. Just an inch, just enough for a pair of eyes to appear, cold, calculating, waiting. Rex stepped in front of me, blocking my legs, ready to lunge through the glass if he had to. The sheriff shouted, "Step out of the vehicle! Hands where we can see!" But the car peeled off so fast, the tires screamed against the asphalt. Deputies sprinted outside, but it was too late. The car disappeared into the storm. The sheriff cursed under his breath. "This isn't ending tonight." Rex didn't chase the car. He didn't move. He kept staring at the empty road until the last echo of the engine faded. Only then did he finally look up at me, eyes soft, almost apologetic, like he was sorry he couldn't tear the thread apart himself. I knelt and cupped his face in both hands. "You kept me alive," I whispered. "You kept all of us alive." His tail thumped once, weak but proud. Daniel's truck screeched into the driveway. He ran toward us, breathless, pale, drenched. "Avery!" He grabbed my shoulders in panic. "Are you safe? Did he get inside? Did he touch you? Are you—" I pulled away. "Daniel, you lied to me." He closed his eyes. Pain splintered across his face. "I know. Your partner tried to burn our house down." My voice trembled. "And someone else was helping him." Daniel nodded shakily. "Crow." The sheriff stepped forward. "You know him?" Daniel hesitated, then nodded again. "I met him once, years ago. Luke brought him in as a silent investor when we couldn't get a loan. I thought he was just another lender." His hands shook. But he wasn't. He funded Luke, and Luke got in too deep. When the business started making money, Crow wanted a bigger cut. When I refused, he decided I was the problem. The sheriff's jaw tightened. "And your wife, why target her?" Daniel's voice cracked. "Because she was home alone. Easy target, a message to me." My knees weakened. "But why didn't Luke warn us?" I whispered. "He tried," Daniel said softly. "That's why he came to the house. But he panicked, and when Rex reacted, he bolted instead of explaining." Tears stung my eyes. "So, this whole thing, Luke, the fire, the man in our basement, all ordered by Crow," Daniel said, "and he'll try again." The sheriff looked at me. "At least now we know who we're dealing with, and you have the best early warning system I've ever seen." His eyes dropped to Rex. Rex sat tall, chest out, tail still, eyes locked on the storm outside like a sentinel guarding a kingdom. A quiet hero. A soldier. A protector. As the deputies began sweeping the property one final time, I stepped onto the porch to breathe. The rain had slowed. The wind softened. It felt like the world was finally exhaling. Rex pressed against my leg, leaning into me, the heaviness of his body grounding me, reminding me he was there, safe, alive, my hero. I stroked his fur. "We'll be okay now," I whispered, more to myself than him. "It's over." Rex lifted his head, still, silent. Then, out of nowhere, he growled again, not loud, not aggressive, just low and cold. A warning. I followed his gaze, across the street, under the street lamp. A small object glinted on the wet pavement. I walked closer with a deputy, a metal tag, a dog tag. On it was engraved Crow, and my blood turned to ice. He'd been here, close, watching Rex, watching me, watching everything collapse. But he left a message. "I'm not finished." The deputy lifted the tag with a glove. "We'll find him," he promised. But I wasn't looking at the deputy. I was looking at Rex, standing tall, ears up, eyes burning with protective fire, not afraid, not tired, not done. Rex nudged my arm as if telling me, "Let him come. I'll be here." And in that moment, I knew. No matter how dark the storm, no matter how dangerous the enemy, no matter what tried to break into my life, Rex would sense it first. Rex would confront it first. Rex would save me first. He already had, more than once, more than anyone ever could. My dog, my guardian, my shield. Rex, the dog who refused to let a killer step inside my home and protected everything I loved.